impact on silencing me in court and the hoops and hurdles they went through to try to silence me. As you know, that my supervisor in the state was very upset about me posting photographs about what was happening to me at work. My supervisor was able to complete her own paperwork at the magistrate's office, get a court date within a week, which we know is impossible, especially during the pandemic, and take me to court, and was able to silence me for a year with a no contact clause, because she said that I was on Facebook with guns threatening to kill her. If that was the case, I wouldn't be on Facebook now. I would be banned. I was not able to testify on my behalf in court, show my evidence, or let my witness speak on my behalf. I was not even allowed to get on the stand. As soon as I walked in the courtroom, I knew the case was over, because the judge was friends with my boss. And that's how the case was won. And it didn't help that the district attorney is friends with my boss, close friends with him. She helped him campaign for him to get his job. She even campaigned at work and passed out brochures to us to vote for him. While in court, there was heavy presence in court, because my boss had a personal security guard with her every time we went to court. Do you get personal security guards to protect you when you go to court? Can you choose your own judge? Can you get to dictate when your case will be heard? Can you put it off whenever you want to? This is what happened with me. The district attorney, Matthew Scott, stood beside me in the courtroom. And I was fearful of that. You inciting fear with a witness. Heavy security in the courtroom, as if I was going to do something violent. That shouldn't have never happened. There's murderers and missing people in Robeson County. Those are cases you need to be working on. Cases where families are protesting in the street to have you removed because of how you're handling in the case involving the police officers that killed one of our citizens. Also, my supervisor had me escorted from my job by a police officer. I called the Lumberton Police Department and spoke to the Lumberton Police Chief. He didn't know anything about that. He didn't authorize that. He was not even aware that this had happened to me and didn't even know why. So someone went over his head, over his authority, and pulled a police officer off the street to come to my job to remove me from my job. I was scared for my life, because I didn't know if I was being arrested. I didn't know where she was going to take me. If I was going to be a statistic, someone in custody got killed because they tried to assault a police officer. I didn't know what was happening to me. It was like a walk of death. And I shouldn't have to go through none of this. Also, time and time again I would go to court, postpone, to protect my supervisor, because she was running for Lumber River Electric Membership Board member, and she won, because all my cases kept getting pushed out until she won the election. To the point where, when I went to court, the bailiff was bringing everybody in front of the judge to hear their cases. People were coming off the street who were late for their court, and I sat in courtroom all day, time and time again, so the public wanted to hear what I had to say. Where did they do this at? This is not justice. So many people have took the law into their own hands and went over heads of other individuals. You disrespect the police chief when you pulled his officer off the streets to come remove me from my job. No paperwork, no warrants, no nothing. Just to show that this is something that you could do. That should not be done here in this county, but it's being done. And so I'm sitting in the courtroom watching the bailiff take everybody in front of the judge. She just let me sitting there. She knew I was there, why I was there, and she left me sitting there. And then after the courtroom was empty, the ADA took me outside the courtroom. Why? The courtroom was empty. You could talk to me in the courtroom. You don't have to take me outside to let me know to this judge, which is also a friend of hers also, said she couldn't hear my case. Why? Because the paperwork was wrong. At the first, second, third, fourth time I went to court, you tell me my paperwork is wrong. You knew this from the very first time. But this is the type of accommodations that is going on in the courthouse. The district attorney is hired to represent all the people in Robeson County that had him elected, not to provide services to your friends and families to hide and cover up, get them out of situations that can hurt their integrity, their character. It doesn't work like that. And that's why I had to file a complaint and why the district attorney's office is under investigation. Do I think the state bar is going to do their job? I don't know. But justice in this county and the United States, you just don't know. But one thing I do know, Robeson County, you entitled to have you a personal bodyguard when you go to court if you feel your life is in danger, because she did. Choose your own judge. You don't like somebody? Have a police sent to their job and have them removed. Fill out your own paperwork. Choose what judge that you want to hear your case. I did have one to recuse himself because he didn't want no parts of my case. I'm in awe that this is happening. But I'm going to keep fighting for justice. Because if I don't fight for me, nobody else will. I shouldn't have police officers and undercovers on my property turning around. There's no need for you to do that. I got increased security because of that. My grandchildren cannot play in my yard anymore because I don't know these strange vehicles in my yard all the time. Hating it, just trashing my yard all the time. Nobody has to live the way I've had to live. So the district attorney's office, state of North Carolina, tried to silence me, but you can no longer silence me. Because when the truth is real, it's real. You're not going to silence me, take away my civil rights anymore.